This is ABC7 News at 6. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us this evening.
First tonight, students in Manatee County are going in front of the school board this evening, trying to get permission to kneel during the national anthem.
The current code of student conduct says students must stand during the national anthem in the Pledge of Allegiance. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live from the Manatee County School Administration Building in Bradenton with more. Rick?
Yeah, guys, the meeting here just got underway a few minutes ago. It's something that's stirring up quite a bit of controversy. Just last week, students joined activists to protest. They believe the school board should allow all students to take a knee during the national anthem. The school district disagrees with that.
Basically, it requires students, if they're 17 or under, to get their parents' permission before they opt out. State statute does back up the fact that students should stand for the Pledge of Allegiance unless they have an opt-out letter from their parents.
It's really important to say what you feel, because you are your own person and you're growing up and you're figuring out what is wrong and what is right. And right now, what is happening in this country is wrong. So it's really important to be able to portray that and not have to ask permission, whether or not you can do that.
And school officials tell us at this time it doesn't look like anything at all will change with this policy. We'll have a lot more on this coming up tonight at 11. Reporting live from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Rick. One person has been airlifted to an area hospital after a bucket truck caught fire. It all happened at the intersection of Fruitville and Lorraine Roads around 4 o'clock this afternoon. According to Sarasota County Fire Rescue, a bucket truck hit a power line and then burst into flames. The operator in the raised bucket was trapped while rescue crews tried to put out the fire. Once the fire was out, crews rushed the operator to a medical helicopter to be flown to the hospital. Downtown Bradenton has grown in recent years, and with more businesses and events, the need for parking is increasing. So the City Council has approved a new parking garage.
But the City Hall public parking lot would be inaccessible for about a year during the construction. ABC7's Haley Wilgus has more.
Doug Menzer has been serving up snacks out of his dugout hot dog stand for the past 15 years. And with recent growth, Menzer says he's on board with the city of Bradenton's plans to build a $12 million parking garage about a block from where he sets up shop.
If the need for parking is getting greater and they don't do anything, parking is going to get worse.
Parking is generally manageable weekdays, but weekends and during events, that's why the city says the garage is needed. Part of it will be designated for the Spring Hill Suites going up across the street.
It's going to give the public a lot more spaces, enable the hotel to build, and which are both great for downtown Bradenton.
But during construction, which the city is shooting to start in January, it could get a little dicey. City of Bradenton Public Information Officer Tim McCann says most of the 200 spaces in the City Hall public parking lot won't be accessible for most of next year.
We know it's going to be an inconvenience, just asking everyone to bear with us right now. Probably within the next month, you'll see city officials meeting with downtown stakeholders, your business owners, people that put on these events.
The city is considering alternative parking arrangements for employees and event goers, but can't confirm exactly what those would be at this point. McCann says one possibility is opening up reserved spaces in the existing downtown garage to the public on nights and weekends.
We're going to experience some growing pains, but I think in the end it's going to all be well worth it.
Menzer agrees he's in favor of a proactive approach.
They try to do something to compensate for it. Parking will get better. It'll be a little tough while they're doing it, but it'll be a lot better after it's done.
And Menzer will be there to feed hungry construction crews in the meantime. Haley Wilgus, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at your first alert forecast.
Thanks, Jacqueline and Scott. I'll tell you, it's been a hot one today. That's the story. There are some showers around. This is Lakewood Ranch looking off toward the east there. There's one lone shower that has popped up, and we have a few more isolated showers around. It's 89. It's cooled down a little bit after a high today of 92 degrees. The heat index at 94. The humidity fairly low as a result of that easterly wind. You can see not a lot going on in the radar picture. It's fairly inactive. There's been a few very isolated showers, and it looks like those will be pushing off to the west there. You see 1, 2, 3, 4. The Lakewood Ranch one there pushing off toward the west at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. So you can expect some rainfall right there near Fruitville and also near Bee Ridge as this moves off quickly to the west at 10 to 15 miles an hour. This one doesn't have much left as it makes its way to the west there near State Road 64 and Waterleaf. Now, it's been dry, relatively dry here as a result of this dry air that's been around, but it's slowly working its way to the west. And then we have this to deal with. This is an upper level low, though it's not a concern as far as tropical development goes at this point, because in the upper levels of the atmosphere you have to have high pressure rotating differently than it is showing right there. But it is going to make a change for our weather over the weekend. We'll talk more about that a little bit. But temperatures very warm today. 94 the high in Tampa. That tied a record high for this day. We'll let you know if any relief is in sight coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. The Venice Fishing Pier will be reopening to the public soon. The pier was closed after Hurricane Irma caused structural damage. Venice city leaders deciding this afternoon to hire an emergency contractor to make minor repairs to the pier so that it can reopen at least temporarily. The pier may need to be closed again for a full rebuild in the future.
They actually did load testing and dove the pier and made sure that everything structurally is secure. The railings are very loose, and so those need to be tightened up.
City engineers will meet with the contractors tomorrow to determine how much the project will cost. It's expected to take just about 10 days to complete.
Manatee County commissioners voting today to help home and business owners affected by Hurricane Irma. Commissioners unanimously voted to waive permitting and floodplain management fees for those who have damages from the storm, as well as any future storm event recognized by the board. Any storm-related permits that are already processed, issued, and paid for will be refunded. Permits must be applied for in person. You can apply at the Building and Development Services locations in downtown Bradenton, at the Manatee County Administration Center, and at the North River Annex in Ellington.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a Confederate general statue representing Florida at the U.S. Capitol is likely to be replaced.
And a ban on professional sports franchises receiving funding for stadiums is ready to go to the Florida House.
The ABC7 First Alert Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit. Visit mysuncoast.com and download yours today. Now you can win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just enter the word of the week at mysuncoast.com. This week's word is cure. We'll pick a winner each week. Good luck.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter mile north of University Parkway.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
A statue of Mary McLeod Bethune could be replacing a Confederate general in representing Florida at the U.S. Capitol. The House Government Accountability Committee voted 20-1 to call for a statue of the civil rights activist and educator. This statue would replace Confederate General Edmund Kirby Smith in the National Statuary Hall. Each state gets 2 representatives at that hall, and Smith has represented Florida since 1922. Bethune, who in 1904 founded Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, held numerous roles, including serving as an advisor to President Franklin Roosevelt.
Confederate statues like the one we're replacing or trying to replace with this bill belong in a museum so that we can learn more from our past instead of glorifying it.
Bethune would become the first African American to be honored in the hall. Florida's other representative is John Gorey, who is considered the father of air conditioning.
A ban on professional sports franchises building or renovating stadiums on publicly owned land is ready to go to the Florida House. Opposition to the stadium funding has grown in the legislature since Miami-Dade County made a deal to borrow $400 million for Marlins Stadium in 2009. The deal may cost more than $2.4 billion when the final payment is due in 2048. Republican State Representative Manny Diaz is the bill's co-sponsor. He says taxpayer funding helped the recent completion of a $1.2 billion sale of the Miami Marlins by its former owner.
That basically is what created the equity in that team. And so he's walking away probably with, $700, $800 million at the cost of the pockets of the taxpayers.
Almost all Florida sports teams, including the Tampa Bay Bucks, Rays, and Lightning, play in stadiums or facilities on publicly owned land.
Interesting. Well, coming up next, Bob Harrigan will be back with your First Alert weather forecast.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-855-395-9803. That's 1-855-395-9803 now.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has recently warned about an increased risk of leg and foot amputations associated with the use of certain diabetic medications, such as Invokana and Invokamet. If you or a loved one took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation, ketoacidosis, kidney failure, or even death, call the Rely On Group now. We are here to help you get the justice you deserve. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-355-8205. That's 800-355-8205.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Well, people living in the Lakewood Ranch area will soon be able to get some new fruits and vegetables. They have a new farmers market coming in that area. We'll tell people about that a little bit more here later.
Yeah. Hopefully those fruits and vegetables aren't getting too hot out there right now because it's 92 degrees today. It was a hot one. Yeah, you got to keep those in the shade. It was tough going for folks outdoors, maybe at the market, but also tough going for the folks in Puerto Rico, too. They're still suffering down there, and an excellent organization has come together, kind of a grassroots organization, putting on a big concert tomorrow night from 7 to 10 o'clock at Payne Park, and it'll be outside, not just in the auditorium. $10 donation is advised, or at least asked for, and you can also bring items like solar power flashlights. They look for air mattresses, and they're looking for mosquito repellent too. That's a big deal there. So come on out. You can call that number on your screen right there to find out more information, or just go to Facebook and do a search for that Sarasota Puerto Rico Relief Fund. As Van Way's webcam goes, beautiful weather out there, albeit hot. Just a few clouds around and a few isolated showers. That's been about it. Now, there's not much of a sea breeze. It's kind of hung up right there along the coastline. There's a chance we'll see a few isolated showers popping up here in the Gulf of Mexico. Like we're seeing down near Fort Myers, some lightning strikes down there with those. But notice the motion continues off to the west. So that sea breeze isn't holding anything off, and that usually allows bigger storms to develop. But it's not happening this evening. Just a few spotty showers around. One heading right towards Siesta Key. It's on Bee Ridge now, heading to the west. Another one near Fruitville, and some near Lakewood Ranch earlier, approaching the airport. But as I mentioned, there's not a lot to them because the atmosphere is just so dry right now, and high pressure continues to dominate the weather. And that's a sinking air that compresses and heats up and doesn't allow any lift to go on, or at least significant lift. And you can see that shower activity now entering into Laurel Oak and near Bent Tree, also right there on Fruitville Road. The evening planner calling for a few spotty showers, but temperatures remaining warm under generally fair skies, upper 70s by 11 o'clock. It's 89 now. At least it's cooled a few degrees. The heat index at 94. The actual high was just 1 degree shy of the record. It got up to 92 at the airport. Typically, it's pretty nice, 86 for an average high, and the low this morning was 6 degrees above the normal. And no rainfall to report officially at the airport, although some showers are heading in that direction right now. But now no measurable precipitation expected with that one lone shower. Tomorrow, not much different than today. Upper 80s to low 90s in the afternoon with a heat index up into the upper 90s, it appears. As a result of the strong easterly wind, we have high pressure to the north, and that's going to give us that easterly component. You'll notice as we move through time tomorrow afternoon, 1 or 2 spotty showers are possible, but notice more moisture is starting to move in from the Bahamas over South Florida on Thursday. Our rain chances staying very, very low. But here's a cold front. Unfortunately, it doesn't advance to the south and cool us down, as high pressure will win out, and then this upper level low kind of moves in and brings us a better chance for showers. You see it right there. This counterclockwise swirl, you would think something tropical, but no, it's in the upper levels of the atmosphere. This could become the 10th consecutive hurricane this season, which would tie a record set back in the late 1800s. Tropical storm now. Again, Ophelia is going to head to the southeast and then eventually off to the northeast. Right now, we're expecting it to turn into a hurricane within about 24 to 48 hours from now. It has a little bit of an opportunity to do so. And there is a secondary peak in the hurricane season. It's usually in late October, early November, so we still have to get through that. So we'll keep an eye on it for you right now. Nothing going on here, thankfully. Winds out of the east turning to the north at 10 knots, and seas will be 2 feet or less with a light chop out there. Water temperature at 84 and UV index at 10. Tides upcoming. Low tide will be at 10:14. Sunset at 7:06. The forecast tonight, mostly fair, 73 for low. And tomorrow, look for just a slight chance for a shower or two. Will be hot, highs in the low 90s. The extended forecast, a gradual increase in chance for rain, riding in through the weekend, anywhere from 40 to 50% on in through Sunday. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. A python that is more than 8 feet long is causing some concern in a Suncoast community. ABC7's Beth Yates has a story.
From a lake with an alligator to a path where wild animals can be seen walking up and down, the Ancient Oaks community and parish has become a place where wild animals find refuge. But the sighting of a Burmese python has many on edge.
And they're camouflaged, you know, it's very hard to spot them.
Justin Matthews with Matthews Wildlife Rescue is looking for the large snake that was spotted in a Suncoast residential community.
The Burmese python just 12 years ago was legal to buy as a pet in a pet store. Then back in 1992, we had Hurricane Andrew hit Miami. It destroyed 6 serpentariums that were full of Burmese pythons. They all got in the Everglades, and they've been multiplying like crazy.
Matthew says he's unsure if the Burmese python he's looking for traveled to the area from the Everglades. He says most likely it was released as a pet and has continued to grow in the area. And recently, one Suncoast resident caught his activity on camera.
It's not something that I expected. I've seen coyotes, pigs, everything on the wildlife camera since I've been here the last year and a half. So it was a real surprise to see a snake that large.
But despite being startled, Borman says she's not afraid and she just wants to get the word out.
People need to be vigilant, know that it's in the area, and they need to, especially after dark this time of year, watch their pets and where they go.
Advice that wildlife officials echo.
If you're walking your dog, do not walk him near the wood's edge. Keep your garage doors shut, especially at night. And if you see him, call me. Don't try to catch him, don't try to kill him.
Officials say once this python is caught, it will go into the possession of Matthews Wildlife Rescue. Beth Yates, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Tonight, state of emergency. Wildfires ablaze across California. Thousands flee for their lives. Go! Homes and businesses destroyed as firefighters try to contain the devastation. World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now, lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $239 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
It was a day of goodbyes, of memories shared, and good wishes for the future.
94-year-old Jane Boakes is retiring after 31 years of volunteering at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. She says it has greatly enhanced her life.
One of my volunteers that I worked with a long time said, you go home and put up your feet and have a drink and think, I've done something important today. And I think that that is how I feel.
She says all the walking as a volunteer at SMH has kept her physically strong.
We do maybe 4 to 6 miles on a shift.
And working with patients, doctors, and nurses has kept her mentally alert.
We take people where they're going, to wound care or to fusion or to x-ray, to the ER often. We do all the blood bank runs, all the central supply runs.
Jane was an Army nurse in World War II.
I went into the Army in January '45, and I was on Saipan and Guam. And then I flew for American Airlines for a year and a half about, and I went back into the Army, Air Force, and to be air evac nurse. And I met my husband in the meantime, and we got married.
She met her husband while he was a patient of hers in a military hospital.
He was on crutches. He said he couldn't get away, but he could have. He didn't try.
He had been wounded in Germany. He spent 5 years in the hospital. Then they moved to Detroit, and in 1980 to Sarasota. They had 2 sons and 4 grandchildren. Her husband died over 20 years ago, making her volunteering at Sarasota Memorial Hospital even more important to her.
Do all the flowers, all the mail, you name it, we do it.
And her life lesson?
Count your blessings, what you have. Just be so thankful for, I am so thankful for the wonderful life I have had.
And she's very much appreciated there at the hospital. I'm sure they'll miss her there. Bob, tonight?
Just a brief shower, otherwise mostly fair for most everyone.
Okay. World News Tonight with David Muir is coming up next.
We'll see you back here again at 11. Have a good night.